Okay, what we dealt with the caste system and all that good stuff is right here. And today we need to look at a couple of the big deal dynasties in early ancient India. I said early ancient? In ancient India or in early India, but to put them together is weird. Sorry, y'all. So, first of all, is this word. This was on your vocab. It should be like ding, 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 red flag, dynasty. What is a dynasty? Well, it's a family of rulers. If I am king and when I die, my son Flint is the next king. And then when he dies, his daughter, okay, son, whatever, Freya is the next king. And then his son, Jack, is the next king. And then his son, daughter, whatever, Sophie is the next king. We're a family of rulers. We've all ruled. What was that? Me, Flint, Freya, Jack, Sophie. For 5 generations, our family has ruled. Pretty cool, yeah? That's a dynasty. When you see something like this where it says this and then dynasty after it, this right here is like the family name. For us in America, the family name is the last name. As you know, hopefully from last year in geography, a lot of, like in the Far East, a lot of first names are family names, where they'll put their last name first and their first name last because they feel like the family name is more important. It's paying respect to the family. So that being said, we have 2 dynasties that we're going to look at, 2 families here of rulers in ancient India. We have there's 2 different ways that I hear this said. I learned it, Mauryan, the Mauryan Dynasty. So that's typically what I say because that's what I learned it in college. I hear quite often in America people say Mauryan. To me, it's weird. I don't know. Mauryan. And then here we have the Gupta. So these are both family names, the Mauryan Dynasty and the Gupta Dynasty. Okie dokie? All right, the Mauryan first. Early on, the big thing that the Mauryan Dynasty does is under a leader named Chandragupta Mauryan, there are civilizations here, and there are civilizations here along the Ganges River, and then there's some civilizations down here, okay? What he does is he connects the civilizations here to the civilizations down the Ganges, okay? And then, of course, over time, all of this will become the Mauryan Dynasty, what they control, the Mauryan Empire. That's a better way to say it, okay? That's what they control in India. You notice they don't have the very tip. Sorry, why? I don't know. But this is what they have, okay? They don't have this. We're getting close to Persia here. Remember Persia? And then they don't have this, Himalaya. Okay? Okay, so this right here is what we're looking at with the Mauryan Dynasty. Okay, I mentioned Chandragupta Mauryan. He kind of unites everything, but we need to deal with another really important Indian king. This guy. This guy's name is Ashoka. Ashoka Mauryan. Oh, I had a minute where I was like, where are the notes? Here they are. Okay, look at his name. Ashoka. Do you remember how I told you there's different spellings for Shiva? Sometimes you'll see Shiva's name spelled like this, S-I-V-A, and sometimes you'll see his name spelled S-H-I-V-A. The reason for that is because how you say the S. So the same is true here. Quite often, especially in the West, you will see Ashoka's name spelled the way it sounds. Ashoka, ASH. Okay? It's not Ahsoka though. Ashoka. Ashoka is different from some of the other Indian rulers because he's not Hindu. Whoa, wait a minute. If he's not Hindu, then that means he's not worshiping Shiva. And if he's not worshiping Shiva, oh my gosh, Shiva might destroy us. Okay, listen. When Ashoka takes over as king, he has adopted Buddhism. Okay, listen. I choose to teach Buddhism with China because it makes such a massive influence on China. However, Buddhism is actually from India. When I teach Buddhism, you should see pretty easily a lot of similarities because Buddhism comes out of Hinduism. The guy who does Buddhism was Hindu. It's like Christianity coming out of Judaism. They're not the same religion, but there's a lot of similarities there. Okay? So we do have we do have Buddhism existing. Again, I think it's easier to keep it separated, but Buddhism is actually from India. It's just not really going to catch on near like it will in the Far East, in China and all those other places. Okay? That being said, Ashoka adopts Buddhism. Okay? But the people of India are like, oh, heck no, because he's going to make us be Buddhists. Guys, historically speaking, whatever your emperor or your king was, that's what you are. We'll see that big time in Europe. If your king is Catholic, so are you. If your king isn't Catholic, neither are you. Whatever your king is, that's typically what you're going to be. Okay? Well, people freak out because if we're not Hindu, then we're not worshiping Shiva. Shiva's going to destroy us. And Ashoka says, whoa, calm down. Calm down. He says, look, I grew up Hindu and I understand your fears. Guys, there was actually a revolt, a rebellion to try and kill Ashoka when he takes over, like when he's younger, because people were so afraid that if he is king, Shiva's going to destroy everybody. And he says, whoa, calm down. I'm not going to force you to be Buddhist. This is not something we typically see, especially in ancient history. We saw it with Cyrus the Great in Persia and Darius the Great in Persia, but that's about it. We don't see this often, okay? We see it here. Ashoka says, if you guys want to be Hindu, I'm totally cool with that. Be Hindu. He says, I choose to be Buddhist and not Hindu. Does it really matter? Well, that's the question that you're going to have to answer for the Hindu people. That's what you're going to have to calm in the Indians. And Ashoka says, look, I care about you guys. Merchants. Trading on these roads is crappy because we don't really have roads. When you want to go to Mesopotamia or China or whatever to trade, it's hard because those roads suck. How about we get a big deal road going? The Silk Road, right here, it's one of your vocab words also. The Silk Road is going to be something that other past kings had thought about. They had written about. They had brainstormed about. You have India in the middle, China on one side, and Mesopotamia on the other side. And India is like, okay, we trade, but it's a pain in the butt to trade because we don't have actual roads. Like we're just going out on the whatever. Like I'm looking outside these windows right here. I know you can't see, but I'm looking outside these windows and like it's just I don't know what those are. Bushes or ground cover. And if I have to take like a cart over that, I don't know if you can see because there's like a cover on the windows. Yeah, do you see all that? Wait, you see all those bushes? Or ground cover? I don't really know which that is. Outside. How do I take a cart over that? If I'm trying to trade merchandise, how do I do that? Well, it's a lot easier if there's an actual road. It's a lot easier if all of those bushes that you just saw don't exist. Let's make a road. So this had been thought about. It had been, I don't know, whatever, brought up, but it hadn't been like really done. Well, Ashoka, oops, is going to really kick off Silk Road trade, big time. Guys, trade existed already. Where the Silk Road is, trade already existed. Don't think, oh, Ashoka started it. Well, no, but he really gets it going. This is just an early picture of what the Silk Road kind of was like. What you do need to understand about the Silk Road is it's not a road. It's actually a whole connection of roads. It's a whole bunch of roads. We just call it the Silk Road, but it's actually like, it's like saying the highway system in America. It's not just one highway. It's a whole system, okay? That being said, Ashoka doesn't do this whole thing. Ashoka, the capital city is somewhere in this area. I think this is it right here, actually, of Mauryan, India. But Ashoka is going to connect India to China up here, Xi'an, the capital city up here. China will build their part. India will build their part. And of course, he'll connect along the Ganges and the Indus. So basically, at first, we have the Silk Road looking like this. This is about it. Later, we'll connect it to the Persian Royal Road. And now we have a Silk Road that goes here, through Mesopotamia, through India, to China. Later, we will end up with what they called the Northern Silk Road, where they come up this way. Kashgar was a big city, big deal like trade center. They'll come up this way. They're avoiding the Himalaya mountains here. But they'll come up this way, and then they'll come this way to hit the Mesopotamian Royal Road. So at first you have the Southern Silk Road down here, and then later you have the Northern Silk Road here. Later, not yet, later, like AD time later, you're going to end up with the Far North Silk Road, which will come up and hit Mongolian areas, come up this way and hit modern day Russian areas. Of course, they're not really Russian at this time or at that time, but they'll hit modern day Russian areas and then come down into Italy. So later, you'll end up with the Far North Silk Road, the North Silk Road, and then the Southern Silk Road. We're not just trading silk. I mean, we are. Do I have a picture of silk? No. I do. I know I do. Here we go. We are trading silk, of course, but we're trading everything, anything that is of value, we're trading. You see on this stuff that was traded. Woven goods, metalwork, wine. You see glassware, woven goods, salt. Oh, that's important. Metalwork, ceramics, rugs, textiles. Textiles are materials. That's actually a vocab word for you later. Let's see, dates. Not dates like time, like a fruit, a date. A date's a fruit, right? It's not a vegetable. I think it's fruit. It's fruit or vegetable. I'm pretty sure it's a fruit. Anyway, crystal, metalwork, tea, saffron, horses, lapdogs. Oh, lapdogs like my babies. Lapis lazuli. That's the blue that you saw a lot in Mesopotamian art and Egyptian art. That's what that is. Jasmine, sandalwood, textiles, brassware, camels, jade, almonds. Over here, mint, wool, oil, chili, amber, peacock feathers, gold, silver, silk, textiles, silk, hemp, cotton, ceramics, tea, sugar. Let's add something else to this. Buddhism. Buddhism. Hinduism. Hmm. Later, Christianity. Buddhism. Of course, it's not just that we're trading stuff. You're trading religious ideas. You're trading educational ideas. You're trading technology. You're trading people. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. So people, you're trading, disease. Oops. Diseases, of course. So the trade route, it is huge because you're not just trading stuff. It's not just merchants making money. It's merchants trading all kinds of stuff. Oh, Ashoka, I'm sorry. I went back. I went the wrong way. One of the other big things that Ashoka does on the Silk Road, he sets up hospitals for animals. Okay, human hospitals will come later. They will. But the animal hospitals actually are first. You're like, oh, a vet. Yeah, but not for your dogs. There are certain animals in Hinduism that are holy animals. Probably the most known, the most famous is the cow. The cow is a symbol of Shiva, I believe. And so, if you kill a cow, automatic bad karma. But what if I was good my whole life? Automatic bad karma. What if the cow dies from natural causes? Well, that's not your fault. But what if you hit a cow with a cart? Automatic bad karma. What does that do for your reincarnated life in your next life? Whew. Good luck. Guys, he originally sets up the animal hospitals to make people happy. People tried to kill him. And he's like, guys, I'm cool with you being Hindu. I want you to be Hindu if that's what you want to be. So he sets up these animal hospitals so that people kind of see, look, I'm not anti Hinduism. I'm trying to help your animals. Later, we'll get human hospitals. But I think it's kind of funny that the animal hospitals come first. Unless if you think about the fact that it follows their religious beliefs, then it's not funny. It makes total sense. You cannot understand, I feel like a broken record because I say this to you all the time, what a people group do if you don't understand what they believe. Because what they do is almost always based on what they believe. Still to this day. Still to this day. You want to know why somebody behaves the way they do? Ask them what they believe. And it'll make sense to you, especially if you understand religions. Okay, later, we have another dynasty that's a big deal dynasty, the Gupta Dynasty. All right, the Gupta Dynasty looks like this. They lost some land, didn't they? Look, the Mauryan Dynasty came way down here. The Gupta Dynasty loses some of this down here. See? There's a big plateau right in here. You should have learned this last year with geography. Basically, they lost part of the plateau. Maybe the whole thing. I would have to look at an actual map to see where the plateau actually is. This up here is showing you modern day countries. Like today, this is India. This right here is Pakistan. Okay, so this right, the orange is just showing you modern day countries. Okay, I don't know what order this is in, but okay. Under the Gupta Dynasty, what's it called? India. India is going to experience her golden age. That sounds good. Okay, golden age doesn't just mean money or wealth or gold. It means the time when you are at your height, civilization wise. Economically, you're at your height. Educationally, you're at your height. More than likely, you're fairly peaceful. I mean, there might be a war or two, but you're fairly, at peace, and things are going great. That's what happens under the Gupta, and part of it is the Silk Road trade. Ashoka really gets the Silk Road trade going. Under the Gupta dynasty, they are getting filthy, stinking rich. They're making a ridiculous amount of money. And if you go back and look at the Silk Road, we have Mesopotamia, China, and India is in the middle. So you have Mesopotamians coming through India to get to China, Chinese coming through India to get to Mesopotamia, and India is in the middle, getting the best of both worlds. Nice. They're getting filthy, filthy, stinking rich. Man, just crazy rich. And silks. China does silk as well, okay? But silks, Indian silks, were considered like, oh, just gorgeous in the West. Not that I'm saying Chinese silks weren't, but. Oh, there's more. I guess I don't have pictures. I don't have Sanskrit pictures? Yes, I do. It's right there. Okay. Okay. It's also at this time that Sanskrit, it's spelled here. Here it is. Sanskrit. Sanskrit becomes like the official written language of India. The native Indians had a different form of writing, but the Aryan Indians who are in charge say, no, we need to have one uniform way of writing, which I get. I do understand that. Kids are always like, oh, well, that's rude. Just take the writing away. My dog is underneath me and he's snoring. Okay, so you can see a little bit of what Sanskrit looks like up close. I think it's beautiful. That's just me. I don't know a lot about it, so I don't know what these sounds are, but I think it's a really pretty script. I want you to notice, well, no. I was gonna say I'll give you time to look at like what your name would look like, but I can't get everything on here at one time. So if you want to know, just rewind the video or just put it into Google and put Sanskrit. I do want you to notice this. Look right here at the numbers. Why this is important, I don't know. I'm telling you, on future district tests, I didn't write this test. I don't think it's important. But I'm telling you because kids always are like, who cares? I know. That's why I tell you now. You have to know. The number 0 is being used. The number 0, I don't know why this is so important to whoever wrote this. They're using Arabic numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's numbers, Arabic numbers. It's what we use too. Under the Gupta Dynasty, they start using the number 0 to denote nothing. Okay, be sure you know that. Personally, I think the decimal system is more important to know. They also start using the decimal system. That's a big deal for like money, exchange rates. That's a big deal. Apparently, using zero is too. So be sure you know that too. Something, look right here. The Mauryan Dynasty started the whole animal human hospital thing. But something that the Gupta, where is it? Here it is. They learned something new, medically speaking, which is pretty awesome. They learned how to set bones. If I break my wrist, okay, and my wrist is all like, meh, if nobody sets the bone and like pops it back into place, my bone is going to heal this way and grow this way, and I will be deformed. You have to pop it back into place. That's what setting a bone is. It's when you pop it back into place. That's like the phrase that we say here in America quite often. They learn that you have to do that, or the bone will grow back wrong and you'll be like deformed or whatever. That's a big deal. That's a big deal medical, technological thing to discover. So things are going pretty good in India right now. There will be some issues coming, but right now, India is doing pretty well. They're getting pretty rich on the Silk Road, coming up with all these new things. They're using the number zero, all kinds of great stuff. Yeah? Okay. Because we are moving east. We're going to China. Bye.